Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to Y&C Cinema. Steve, a man breaks into a mine to get the Earth Crystal and the Orb of Dominance, which he uses to enter the overworld. When Steve discovers a portal that takes him to the afterlife, he creates his own paradise. Steve is taken hostage by Malgosha, the Piglin leader, while he is in the Nether. Sadly, Malgosha intends to destroy the overworld as retaliation for being criticized during the talent show for the overworld. Steve gets Dennis, his dog, to hide the orb so that no one else can enter. In the present day, a man named Garrett, the Garbage Man, wins a contest and opens up his own game store. When Garrett gets an eviction notice one day, he goes looking for things to sell, including Steve's old house's contents. Garrett discovers the Earth Crystal and the orb while looking for items. Henry and Natalie, on the other hand, have recently relocated to Idaho after the deaths of their parents. While there, they meet a real estate agent who wants to open their own petting zoo. Unfortunately, Henry is told off on his first day of school after his jetpack goes haywire and knocks over a mascot on top of a potato chip factory. Henry unintentionally reactivates the portal by combining the orb and Earth Crystal and pretending that Garrett is his uncle to avoid getting into any more trouble. Natalie eventually becomes concerned when Henry and Garrett are brought to the mines. The quartet reaches the overworld when Dawn and Natalie join the others. Malgosha learns that Steve stole it from his prison cell when she hears about other people entering. Henry learns how to build a fortress and helps the other four defeat monsters at night. Steve arrives to save them as the sun rises while Garrett breaks the orb while attempting to enter. Steve then tells them to go to the Woodland Mansion to replace the orb. Before being torn apart by a piglin attack, Steve takes them to a nearby village to show them how to craft. Steve, Henry, and Garrett narrowly escape from a ghast by defeating it, whilst Natalie and Dawn discover Dennis the dog, who promises to reunite them with Steve. Piglin retaliates by releasing the Great Hog. The boys who elude in minecarts are pursued by the Great Hog. To add insult to injury, the Great Hog is blown up by a bunch of creepers. Steve and Garrett arrived at the mansion in mushroom hats to throw a birthday party for the pillagers, allowing Henry to steal both the Earth Crystal and the Ender Pearl. A new Great Hog that Piglin sends out blows up the bridge that leads to the mansion. Steve and Henry get away, and Garrett gives himself as a sacrifice, but he still manages to survive the explosion. They all come to terms inside a mushroom house, but Piglin gains control of the Orb of Dominance, increases its power, and declares war on the overworld. Together with a group of iron golems and an arsenal of weapons, the five friends plan to fight back against Piglin. Malgosha tries several surprise attacks on Steve, but ultimately dies and the quintet arrive back at the Earth portal before Steve hands Dennis over to Dawn. Back on Earth, the five become quite successful and create their own video game called Block City Battle Buddies. Whilst Dawn opens a zoo with Dennis, Natalie teaches self-defense, Henry finally accomplishes building his jetpack, and Steve and Garrett make music together in Garrett's store. Steve returns to his old home in the real world to collect a chest he'd left in the attic, when he met with the current owner of the house, a woman named Alex. If you want fresh and honest movie reviews, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Your support helps bring more awesome content your way.